Okay, this time I'm pretty near sure I have everything I need right in front of me. Today I went and did my groceries, and I bought some more whiskey, of course, and I carried everything up the stairs, and after that it was pretty hot, so I got me a glass like this one of gin and tonic. And I tasted gin for the first time straight last week on when I did a live show or a live stream, and I didn't like it. It works with tonic very well, but without the tonic, gin is not nice. I think it's pretty nasty. But here, by popular demand, is the McClelland's Islay. I don't know if you can see, it says Islay somewhere. It says Islay right there. Single malt. And this one cost me a grand total of, I got to turn the light on, or light brighter so I can read here. And I'll turn the light back down to get the white balance proper again. McClelland's Islay, $41.49 with the taxes. It's $47.71 plus a 10-cent deposit, so $47.81. That's about as low a price you will ever find for a single malt, including taxes, in British Columbia. If you find a cheap one, let me know, or a cheaper one, let me know. I'm going to open up our McClelland's here, and there it is. McClelland's 1818 Islay single malt, with a nice picture on the label there. And so let's get this guy open first. It's a C-shaped thing. The C-shaped thing opens right up like this. Okay, very easy. It even has a cork. Now that's classy for under 50 bucks to have a cork. Yeah, it pops nicely too. Now let's give this a little pour here. Okay. Now I'm also going to pour something. Well, let's do this one first. McClelland's Islay. What does it say on? Whoops. What does it say on the box? An island at the very edge of Scotland where high cliffs drop into crashing surf and beautiful beaches thrill underfoot. This is Islay. Forged by nature, marked by history, made famous by its single malt whiskey. Yeah, okay, there's a little map. I don't know if you can see that from there. There's a little map of Islay there. And it says, okay, in French it says the same thing. On this side here it says, McClelland's Islay malt is just one of the discoveries that await you on a journey into the very heart of Scotland's most celebrated whiskey regions. Further taste adventures are just a sip away with our Highland, Lowland, and Speyside single malts. Okay, I was able to find the Highland and Speyside, but I was not able to find their Lowland single malt. But we'll talk about the Highland. Speyside, Lowland. Okay, now, I'm going to do those at a future time, but you guys asked for this one. You wanted to see it. This beautiful smoky single malt comes from the famous island of Islay, full-bodied dram with a taste of the sea. It says the same thing in French again. It's 40% alcohol by volume. And on this side, it has, oh my gosh, lots of marketing on this one. If the spirit of this golden honeyed spirit, if the sight of this golden honeyed spirit invites you on a journey, then on the first breath your destination is revealed. It's Islay. A nose full of beachside fires, you are well on the way. One sip and you're there. The tang of the sea sweeps over you. Are they ever marketing this to death? All that salt, all that smoke, and so on, and so on, and so on. There's even a little picture here of smoke coming out of chimneys. I mean, they're really pushing this. And what is this? Something about somebody stepping on, digging peat. Oh my goodness. Are they ever pushing it? That's a nice box though. Anyway, I wonder if it says anything different on the bottle. Let's have a look. And hopefully I don't juggle this one. Few whiskeys evoke a sense of place better than this tangy single malt, hailing from an island revered by whiskey. Beautiful, bold, single malt, blah, 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 blah. And there's a little lighthouse on there. And there's another, the picture of the sea there. And the year 1818, I don't know, was that when McClelland's established in 1818? So they've been around a while. They must have been successful enough in selling these bottles. Some of my viewers have commented that they saw it on the shelf, but they went past it because it was inexpensive. Well, sometimes inexpensive doesn't mean bad. There are some Canadian whiskeys that are inexpensive but wonderful, like Hiram Walker's Special Old, or Highwood 90 5-year-old, or one of my favorites, the Alberta Premium. Fine stuff. But we're not talking about Canadian whiskey here. We're talking about Scotch. And this is an Islay Scotch. Yeah. I'm getting some peat. It's like a tarry peat. Road tar, or the stuff you spread on the roof. It's not overpowering. But there is peat smoke there. I don't know how much. Maybe 20 ppm, maybe 15 ppm, I'm not sure. It's all right. I'm smelling peat. I have to get past the peat first. There's the peat. I'm getting the sense that there's some dark fruits involved. Plums. I'm getting plums now. Getting past the peat. Getting some plums and cherries. Quite nice. Plums, cherries. What's that other note I'm getting? Maybe a bit of apple and cinnamon. Some pears. Yeah. Let me cleanse my palate again because I'm still tasting gin and tonic, but smelling Islay peat. Quite nice. Now I'm going to taste it. Yeah, taste it. Peaty. Peaty. And it's a little bit like coffee. Peat and coffee. There's a strong coffee note in there. It's quite lovely. Let's hold it in the mouth a little longer this time. Once again, peat, freshly roasted coffee, strong note of freshly roasted coffee. I quite like that. I stopped drinking coffee over a year ago because it was making me too jumpy. And I'm jumpy enough without coffee. So all it does is, you know, avoid the inevitable for a while, and the inevitable is falling asleep. So having coffee gives me a little charge for a while, but I will fall asleep anyway, and usually with coffee I will crash down harder than if I just fell asleep on my own. Peat coffee, hint of fruits. The aftertaste, smooth, very smooth. I'm getting coffee still. Let's try that again. Peat, mild fruits. It's a lot like a young Bowmore. And just for comparison's sake here, I have a Bowmore 12. So what I'm going to do is top off my glass of McClelland's. Here's a glass of McClelland's. Pour me a glass of Bowmore 12. And we're going to do a little side-by-side comparison here and see if the McClelland's taste like the Bowmore. And let's have a look here. Do they have about the same? Well, let's look at it in the glass. The Bowmore I opened only last week, so there's the Bowmore, there's the McClelland. Kind of similar in color, aren't they? Okay. McClelland once again. Yeah. Plums and cherries. Once again, mostly peat. Peat forward. What does the Bowmore smell like? The Bowmore seems to have less smoke and more fruit. More medium fruit, plums, bananas, pineapples. A little more cinnamon, I think, than the McClelland. The McClelland is younger than the Bowmore. The peat is stronger. The smoke is heavier. The tar is thicker. And like I said, the Bowmore is more fruity. Oh, much more. So, I'm pretty sure, or I have it on some reasonable authority, that the McClelland's is a younger Bowmore. Aged in sherry and ex-bourbon wood. Freshly roasted coffee once again. And some cherry. And what was the other thing? A bit of apple cinnamon and plums. One more. Much more fruity, less of the peat, less of the smoke. Oh yeah, much more fruit. Do that again. Once more, longer in the mouth. Okay. The Bowmore is more viscous. It has a thicker mouthfeel than the McClelland. It has more fruit. The cherry note is a lot more pronounced. Plums, cherries, pineapples, bananas, much more than the McClelland's. And it has that thicker mouthfeel. Both are artificially colored, from what I can tell. They're about the same color, except the color of the Bowmore is a little more intense. It's a little redder. And that could be because it was in the cask longer. More fruits from the Bowmore. No coffee from the Bowmore, but there is the coffee note from the McClelland. And the Bowmore has a much fruitier aftertaste. I'm tasting much more of that cherry in the Bowmore than in the McClelland. Both are very satisfying drams. What did I pay for the Bowmore? I forget. I'll have to let me go through these bills for a second here. This is okay. Let's go. What is this here? Bowmore cost me $66.69, and the McClelland cost me $47.71. Is it actually worth that much more? It's $20 more for the Bowmore than the McClelland. Granted, the Bowmore is younger, so the flavor of the peat is more upfront. The fruit is more subdued, the fruit flavors. And the quality of the McClelland might not be quite as high as the Bowmore. The mouthfeel is definitely thinner. And the Bowmore is more viscous than the McClelland. But is the extra viscosity and the higher fruit and the less peat worth $20? I don't know. It's up to you to decide. I find both of them are nice for 40% alcohol by volume entry-level Islay whiskeys. If you're on a budget, if you're on a tight budget, and you're just getting into whiskey and you just want to find out what the different regions taste like, what are the characteristics of the different regions, McClelland is a good introduction to the Islay peated style of whiskey. It's not going to be the best or the finest. For $47, you're not going to get, you know, an Ardbeg Perpetuum, but for an entry level, it's a good introduction to give you an idea of the different regions. So McClelland is not a bad buy at all. I would recommend it for somebody starting out. For the more experienced connoisseur, though, you might find it a bit thin and flat. But, you know, I wouldn't turn it away if somebody gave me some, and I might even buy it again. It's not a bad daily sipper. You know, it's under $50 for a single malt. How wrong can you go? I took a punt, and I don't regret it at all. And I might as well say sláinte.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.